Hi, I'm Dina with Mills Family Gardening. We're a little bit behind on planting sweet potatoes. Today is June 25th and we normally harvest our sweet potatoes in the beginning of November. We live in North Texas, Zone 8A. Sweet potatoes require a long warm season, approximately 4 months, to develop good tubers. In this video, I'm going to show you 5 ways you can plant sweet potatoes. All these ways require warm weather, so if you decide to go with any of them, make sure the weather outside is warm. The first way you can plant sweet potatoes is simply bury the whole tuber into the ground. This tuber already has some slips growing on it, but if it didn't have any slips, I would simply put it into the ground, cover it with the soil, and wait for the roots to grow. The benefit of this method is you don't have to baby the sweet potato. You don't have to keep it in the water, wait for the roots and slips to grow, and keep it under the grow light in the house. You can plant it straight into the soil as long as the weather is warm. Keep the soil moist, and you will see in a few weeks that the sprouts will start growing. Will the sweet potatoes actually grow out of one tuber? The answer is yes. The tuber will start sending roots, and the roots will grow into tubers. The downside of this method is the yield of sweet potatoes will not be as big. The second way to plant sweet potatoes is to plant unrooted slips. You can see this sweet potato has some slips that already have roots, but this slip doesn't have any root, and I can plant it straight into the ground without roots. I simply remove the slip from the sweet potato, just like that, and then I simply plant it into the soil. I make a little hole, put it into the hole, and cover it with the soil. The benefit of this method is you can plant slips straight into the ground much sooner, so you don't have to wait for the roots to grow, so you don't have to keep them under the grow light as long. The con is that you have to water those little slips for the first few days to make sure the soil does not dry out. The slips will look a little bit wilted for the first few days, but once they're established, they should be pretty drought resistant. The third way of planting sweet potato slips without any roots is to cut this little slip from the sweet potato with the sweet potato piece. And now I'm going to plant the slip with the piece of the sweet potato straight into the ground, and the slip will be feeding off the sweet potato until it grows its own roots. The benefit of this way is you don't have to wait for the roots to grow, but the con is that you can't find a sweet potato piece for every single slip. For example, if you look at these slips, there's a cluster of them in the same spot, so you can't really find a piece of the sweet potato for every single slip. So that means the yield might be smaller. The fourth way is to plant the stem of this whole vine in the soil. Wherever the leaf nodes, it's the place where the leaf touches the main stem, touches the soil, that's where the roots will start growing. And so if you bury the whole stem into the soil, then at every leaf node the roots will grow and you will have more sweet potato tubers. I'm going to start with planting the rooted part of the sweet potato into the soil, putting all the roots into the soil, and then I'm going to bury the whole vine in the soil, and I'm going to make sure the soil covers the stem at every leaf node. The benefit of this way is you will have more potato tubers, but the con is that it will take longer for the roots to grow, and so the sweet potato tubers might be smaller. And the fifth way, and the most popular one, is to plant rooted slips. Right here I have some slips that already have roots, so I'm going to remove them from the sweet potato, and I'm simply going to plant these slips with the roots in the soil. The benefit of this way is that the roots will grow tubers much faster because the roots are already here, but the con is that you have to start sweet potato slips much earlier. You have to baby them, keep them under a grow light, and wait for the roots to grow. So these are 5 ways of planting sweet potato slips for you. You can choose 1 or 2 ways that will work best for you, and always experiment. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.